Lusternia, Age of Ascension presents Ask Estarra.
Welcome to Ask Estarra. You notice I'm wearing my Marion shirt and my Portal of Fate mug that I just got. I'm actually a little disappointed in the mug because the dimensions of the original drawing are really skinny. So the picture ends up being tiny and it's hard to see. So what I need to do is I need to crop the picture to get a better dimension, get some width in there. And I'm having that issue with all the artwork. And I just hate cropping it because losing any little bit just seems like you're insulting the artist, but I don't see any other way to do it. So, I don't know. What do you think? Okay, so we have some questions from another brave soul who isn't afraid to put himself out there.
So, Estarra, I've got a few questions for you. One's mine, the rest are from around the Lusternian community. My question is there any chance of Ackleberry returning? It's something I'd really like to see, seeing as the Tayday and Furrican are my favorite races in Lusternia.
Tayday love you too. Yay, Furrican! Absolutely. We've had plans for Ackleberry since the very beginning. In fact, we have a graphic that was made way before Lusternia opened, which I can show you. There it is. It's kind of lame, but it shows we were at least thinking about Ackleberry. Your real question is, when will Ackleberry open? And that I cannot tell you. So I'm sorry about that. We just opened 2 new orgs, and we're having trouble filling them. So I'd really want to see a big surge in the player base before we look at opening up any more orgs. I will say this, which will probably burst a few bubbles. Ackleberry is not a neutral organization. I repeat, it is not a neutral organization. I do not believe in so-called neutral orgs, so you'll never see any in Lusternia. Anyway, there's been hints in the histories, in some of the events, and in the lake prophecies that Ackleberry is as extreme as any other organization. Ackleberry has a very big beef with Sarenwald and definitely will not come back friendly with Whiteheart and Mother Moon. Most importantly, they have an arch nemesis, just like every other organization does. Ackleberry.
Right, now then, on to the questions from the rest of the basin. Is there any chance of a polearm spec for warriors?
Polearms? What are polearms? Here's a polearm. Oh, that don't look like a polearm. What you talking about? That looks like a polearm. Well, I guess it needs about another meter on the handle, but this definitely gives you an idea of what a polearm is. Can you see this with an orc lock?
Red Lauren scum. What are you doing in my territory? You don't scare much.
It's a 2-handed weapon. It does 2 die 6 against large creatures. Wait. Anyway, we've talked about polearm specialization since way back in the design phase. In fact, Rourke has always been an advocate of polearm specializations. Would imagine it does heavy damage, generally is a slow attack weapon, and it'd probably get bonuses against opponents who are mounted, or at least do special attacks. Now that said, there is no actual skill set that's been designed. Designing weapon skills is always problematic and tricky, especially as we don't really want to add new afflictions. However, if you are motivated, please feel free to give us ideas on the forum. If you guys develop a polearm skill set that we really like, there's a good chance that someone, Rourke, will take it up. No promises, but you never know.
is there any particular reason that Halifax got a Catharin ambassador and Gaudy Gooch got an Illithoid one for the collegiums?
Isn't it obvious that the Cathera fit in with Halifax and the Illithoid with Gaudy Gooch? Halifax is hierarchical, they have a hive-like system, and it's an excellent fit with the Cathera. The Illithoid have an organic theme of manipulating flesh, much like the theme of the Illuminati and Gaudy Gooch. So while there are no historical ties between them, I think elements of their societies are very simpatico, which lends them to being drawn to each other. And there's really no other answer beyond that.
And are Lolliprindle and Lollipringle related?
No, there's no relationship between Lolliprin and Lollipringle. In fact, I never even thought about it until you asked the question. It's probably my subconscious workings on how I pick out names that made two names that sound similar. But, no.
That's about all I've got to ask, so see you around.
Where'd everyone go? Oh, well.
Hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime cow. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me, then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.